What is happening, Magnus sites? Get it? Happening? Alright, look, I'm just kidding. Anyway, look, I'm back with another Magnus Answers. I'm sitting on my throne of thought, reading your emails. And now I am prepared and ready to answer your question as the Magnusite movement marches forward to 1 million subscribers. Now, this one comes from the Vegetable Addict. He says, "What's up, Mr. Magnus? Woo! I sent you a message some time ago about what you thought about veganism. No, vegetarianism. And you gave me some advice about it, some nice advice about it. I got another question for you. What is your stance on weed? People have used it for cancer treatments, pain relief, etc. Do you think that it is okay for people to smoke? I personally do not, but know very smart, healthy people who do. I am drug-free, but want your opinion on the subject. I know the Jamaican Rastas do it all the time. In fact, a lot of them are what they call idle, which means they eat mostly vegan diet with no alcohol and promote the herb because it's natural. Good luck on getting on 1 million subscribers. Getting to 1 million subscribers. The Vegetable Addict." Hey, first of all, buddy, it ain't nothing about luck. It's gonna happen. Alright, pal? Learn that, and you yourself will get to be the 16th time. I'm sorry, got into my Ric Flair. I'm getting 1 million subscribers. You know how Flair, when Flair be talking shit sometimes, and be like, hey, 16 times world heavyweight champion. Woo! No. What I'm gonna say when I'm talking shit to people, be like, hey, big man. Yeah, 1 million subscribers. Shut up, fat boy. I'll take your girlfriend home and I'll make a woman out of her. Yeah. Woo! Alright, now I'm gonna answer your question. What do I think about smoking weed? Well, I myself tried smoking weed a few years ago. And matter of fact, I'll tell you my little journey with weed. I started smoking it around, I would say, 18, 19, something like that. And I loved how it made me feel. It relaxed me. I had a lot of anxiety about certain things, especially approaching women and things like that. And what I would do a lot of times, I would smoke it before I went to the club because it allowed me to be more relaxed. It relaxed my nerves with approaching women and dancing with girls and anything like that. Plus it made me funnier, you know, people like to be around me when I would smoke. So I never had to pay for any weed, ever. People will always invite me to come over and smoke. So I stopped because one day, I'll never forget it, I walked out of a job interview in Camden for this factory, iron working job or something like that. And I happened to be looking down on the street and there was a pamphlet for, you know, why you shouldn't smoke weed. And it was talking about all these things and it said it can give you nervous problems. And I noticed that since I'd been smoking weed, this eyebrow right here, on this point right here, would always jump every morning. It was always jumping. So at that point I decided I'm going to stop smoking weed because apparently it's giving me nervous problems. Now, I don't know if anything I was smoking had something in it or not. If it was laced, I don't know. But what I do know is this. Several years later, about 7 years later, I was offered, you know, some more weed. And I decided to try it out again. And I started smoking with a few friends, and it was cool. But then, I think it was 2 times. This one time, I smoked, and and for those of y'all that know what this was that was happening to me, that knows what caused this problem, please post your comments below. first time I got this, my lips and gums started vibrating. And it was like this humming feeling, like a that was running from my lips all the way down to my feet and then back up to my mouth again. And I was like, yo, something's not fucking right with this shit. And then a few weeks later, I smoked with a couple of female friends of mine, and this time I started to shake, like that. And they were gonna take me to the hospital, and I stopped shaking, and I was like, nah, I'm good, chill. And then the last time I smoked with them, there was like this, I don't know, I felt like I was having a heart attack, alright? So it was kind of like a little bit of pain in my left arm and my chest, and I was like, alright, look, God, I started copping pleas right there. God, Lord in the heavens, if you can get me through this, I promise you, I will never smoke again. And I haven't smoked again since then. Now, I do believe that things on this earth that are natural, that are unmodified, ungenetically modified, have medicinal uses. Having said that, I believe that there are certain things you should ingest, certain things that can be cooked, you know, certain things that can be inhaled, but you can't necessarily do that to each one. Now, getting to my point with smoking it. I don't think it's meant to be smoked. This is my personal opinion from what I've read about the herb itself. Now, I'm going to tell you, I believe in its medicinal properties. I do believe that it can treat cancer, because you can't say cure. But there are a few different videos on YouTube about its medicinal properties and how it's been used to treat cancer. There are other medicinal uses I've read about, but I believe there's also a book, and correct me, Magnusites, my weed smoking Magnusites. I believe it's called The Emperor Wears No Clothes, and it's all about you know, weed, and you know, it's, you know, everything about it, its history, and from what I understand, you know, every time I see something about it, you know, no one's ever died from it, but you know, plenty of people have died from, you know, alcohol and every other drug out there. So I do believe that it has some type of hidden past, and I do believe that it is more good for people than it is bad, from what I've read. I just don't smoke it no more. If I ever, you know, develop cancer, and hey, yeah, I would, you know, take it, you know, to help, you know, treat it, and you know, whatever other uses it might have, you know. And from what I understand, isn't it like a cousin of the hemp plant? And if that is the case, from what I understand, hemp is hemp. Like, I mean, hemp apparently has like hundreds of uses that the government refuses to use it for. And like, apparently, like hemp, like I think George Washington talked about planting hemp all across the United States because of how useful hemp was. I mean, like, incredibly useful hemp is. So do your research on it. What's Tyrone's thoughts about weed? Thumbs up. Smoking it? I don't think so much. Because every time I met someone that smokes weed a lot, they got a particular look to them. And it's not a particularly healthy look. Sometimes they have them black burnt lips, or sometimes they have like dark circles, or their skin doesn't look as good. I can always tell. And I'm like, yo, you want to smoke weed? I'm like, I fucking knew this motherfucker smoked weed just from the way he looks. He doesn't look healthy. So like I said, I mean, hey, rocks can be healthy, you know, for you. You know, you can use them to, you know, use them in your garden when you're planting, you know, your vegetables, but you don't want to eat rocks, okay? So there's just things that we have on this earth that have certain uses that you shouldn't use them for other things, okay? That's all I got to say. Because I assume, what's it called, THC, or is it DTH? Whatever the fuck it's called. Whatever the chemical is that gives you that high, I think can be extracted anyway. So, I guess if you want to get high, I guess you could take pills, whatever. I'm not down for getting high. I get high off life, okay? Y'all watch my videos every day. I be going crazy, acting a motherfucking fool, and I don't drink, I don't smoke. There ain't nothing but endorphins and whatever else my body naturally makes to make me feel happy, motherfuckers. So, having said that, weed, motherfuckers. 1 million subscribers.